Good day, my name is Lhady Allea Salarza from BSc 1-2 and I'm here today to talk to you about the biosocial theory and evolutionary theory. Our first theory is the biosocial theory. Did you know that biosocial criminologists believe that because humans have brain, genes, hormones, and a revolutionary history, they should integrate insights from discipline that this study things into their theories and dismiss naive nature versus arguments in favor of nature via nurture. Any trait, characteristic, or behavior of any living things is always the result of biological factors interacting with environmental factors, which is why we call modern criminology informed criminology a biosocial rather than biological. Biosocial approach have three broad complementary areas, such as behavior genetics, evolutionary psychology, and neuroscience. The second theory is the evolutionary theory. In the early 19th century, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck proposed his theory of the transmutation species, the first fully formed theory of evolution. Unlike Lamarck, Darwin proposed common descent and a branching tree of life, meaning that two very different species could share more common ancestor. Let's proceed to the biosocial theory. The biosocial theory posits that this is not just an environmental and social factors affecting the criminal behavior, but biological factors as well. For example, if an individual had birth complications and grew up in a disruptive home, the individual would be more likely to have a criminal tendencies. One approach is to biosocial criminology is to study the heritability of criminal behavior and related traits. Heritability studies only tell us to the extent of which variation in a trait or behavior is due to genetic influences. Biosocial criminologists examine influence on a trait with adoption and twin body studies.
Biosocial theory. The combination of environmental and biological risks cause criminal behavior.
Factors such as low intelligence, poor diet, impulsivity, and hyperactivity, hormones such as testosterone and cortisol, and environmental pollutants may all affect a person's biological propensity for criminal and antisocial behavior. Biological factors such as breeding behavior, care of young, time of last eating, and food storage cause changes in daily activity patterns. Similarly, environmental factors such as temperature, snow cover, food supply, and disturbance caused by humans in an urban setting also cause change in daily activity patterns. Next slide is the biosocial theory include the life course persistence offending, personality-based theory, and the female delinquency. The life course persistence offending. It is developed by Terry Moffitt and the adolescents limited AL offenders and include also the criminal behavior limited to adolescents, the life course persistence or the LCP offenders, and the chronic offending starts early in life. And this is also caused by neurological deficits and ineffectivity parenting. Next is the personality-based theory. This is developed by Hans Eysenck. And these personality traits driven by underlying biology cause a crime. And this is where children with low arousal will be difficult to socialize. And in criminal families, low arousal might prevent children from learning criminal behavior. Lastly is the female delinquency. This is the early onset of puberty is linked to criminal behavior. And this is also the true for girls in co-ed school but not for those all in girls in school. In conclusion, girls who start puberty early attract the attention of older, crime-prone males which may lead to delinquency. Good example of biology X-environment interactions. The next theory is the evolutionary theory. This evolutionary theory is the broad base where the certain types of asexual behavior are genetic and passed down from one generation to another through the process of evolution, the natural sex, and the survival. This theory separates the two types to explain the violent crime and the sexual pleasure. In evolutionary theory, this is the uses of principle of evolution to explain the modern human behavior. In research, we have the rape and the cads and dads theory. In research, the rape is an unlawful sexual activity most often involving sexual intercourse against the will of the victim through the force of the threat of force or with an individual who is incapable of giving legal consent. In evolutionary process, allow males who are pushy and aggressive in the pursuit of sex to pass on their genes successfully. The cats and dads theory. This is the theory predict that women without living parents will be less attracted to cats, all else equal. This is also the alternative strategies for reproductive success. The cats means to pretend the caregivers who really want to reproduce with as many female as possible, and the dads means it invests time and energy to help nurture and raise offspring. In summary, many biological factors appear to related to criminal behavior, inherited and result of biological harm. Biological factors contribute to criminality in a certain environmental circumstances. This human may be partially driven toward the crime by natural forces or beyond their control. Remember, Hans Eysenck said, if the truth contradicts deeply held beliefs, that is too bad. Hans' attitude was surprised in his autobiography, Rebel with a Cause. He said, I always felt that a scientist owes the world only one thing, and that is the truth as he sees it. If the truth contradicts deeply held belief, that is too bad. Tact and diplomacy are fine in international relations, in political, perhaps even in business. In science, only one thing matters, and that is the facts. He was one of the signers of the Humanist Manifesto. Again, I'm Lhady Allea Salarza from BSc 1-2. Thank you so much.